The true nature of the antiquity of Pra Somdej Wat Rakang amulet, as discussed by various knowledgeable individuals, has no definitive evidence to substantiate it in a tangible form. Therefore, everyone imagines it differently without reaching a conclusion. This is the amulet, Pra Somdej, from Wat Rakang, large mold block that has an inscription indicating the number 2402, denoting the year of its creation, which is 2402 BE, and the abbreviation were Orkor in Thai language, which stands for Wat Trakun Kao. According to existing evidence, this statue is confirmed to be 165 years old. Today, we will examine the nature of the antiquity on the surface of the amulet. Pra Somdej Wat Rakang, created around the same period of the most favored material of Pra Somdej Wat Rakang prototype, which is cost in millions now. Therefore, any changes according to scientific principles and natural chemical and physical processes that contribute to the nature of antiquity on the surface of this statue will be explored. It will be the important evidence when compared with the natural aging that occurred on the surface of the Pra Somdej Wat Rakang from the popular printing era, using images from a 1000x camera that can be seen and felt concretely, making it the most reliable. Let's take a look together. Hello everyone, whom following the Pra Trakun Kao channel. I am Pitu Nakta, to meet you again in EPS 109. Today, I will take you to meet the Somdej Wat Rakang amulet. Large form of white jade Buddha, featuring the head that bent crossing over the arch. The image of the Buddha body, the base, and the arch lines are all very beautifully detailed. The arch line on the right side is positioned slightly above the elbow, a little tapering inward. The face is oval-shaped with a pointed chin, and the left shoulder is sloped cutting. The lower base has a shallow groove. Which of those are important characteristics of this mold block? You will notice that the mold block has a deep and sharp detail that is consistent throughout, indicating that the craftsman who carved the mold must possess very high skill as the royal house artisan. The material of the amulet exhibits a golden color, resulting from the specific materials mixed in the plaster mixture, which gives it a golden yellow hue, such as the rare of Sangarum clay. This signifies that the Buddha was created for a special occasion only. There are various types of magical materials observed, which are crafted without reservation, despite being rare and difficult to produce. The edges have been cut closely to the cutting frame on both sides. The cuts are neat, and on the back of the amulet the corners are beautifully rounded, indicated to the intention and meticulousness in the creation of the Buddha statue. The back is smooth and even, signifying the intentional pressing of the Buddha's material into the mold with uniform pressure entire the back panel, for ensuring complete fulfilled image on the front of the mold. The evidence of particular care and meticulous craftsmanship in the creation of the amulet, as mentioned, strongly supports and confirms the importance of this creation, indicating that it was made for those of high status in society. Likely a royal figure, specifically King Rama IV at that time. According to the evidence recorded, the Thai numeral refers to the year the amulet was created, which is the year B.E. 2402. This serves as empirical evidence that confirms the age of the statue up to today, which is 165 years. The abbreviation were Orkor, in Thai alphabet, clearly indicates the origin of the statue, which is the name of the temple Wat Rakang Kao. Thus, this statue was created 5 years before the earliest version of the Pra Somdej Wat Rakang, the popular printing era. Therefore, the statues that contain similar materials and have comparable ages, influenced by the changing climate in the same time. Hence, the nature of the aging on the surface of this statue, when compared, should exhibit similarities or likeness to the nature of aging that had seen on the surface of the Pra Somdej Wat Rakang from the popular printing era, which really cannot be separated, because it is a change according to the principles of physical chemistry experimentation in the same natural laboratory, which is together in Thailand, under controlled conditions of the same time frame and environmental climate conditions. And before continuing any further, please do not forget to encourage me for making good clips for a longer time by pressing the follow button, liking, and sharing. Thank you so much. The shallow cracks on the surface of the amulet generally conveys a tangible sense of age and wear, fitting for a statue from Wat Rakang that has endured for 165 years. It can be regarded as an excellent example for studying the nature of aging on the surface of this Buddhist amulet, which results from natural chemical-physical reactions. Therefore, the natural phenomenon of aging on the surface of this Buddha is characteristic of the aging nature of the 165-year-old statue from Wat Rakang, as evidenced by photographs that provide concrete proof. This should put an end to debates about what the aging nature mentioned in the examination of the Pra Somdej from Wat Rakang during the popular printing era, which has a similar age, actually looks like. Thus, it serves as the most reliable evidence of the characteristics of aging that can be used as a comparison in assessing the aging nature of the Pra Somdej from Wat Rakang during the popular printing era effectively. An enlarged view of the surface of the Buddha statue, clearly aged 165 years, gives a tactile sense of the ancient nature reflected in the surface cracks that have been filled and repaired by calcite crystals, which have bonded together. This is the result of a cycle of physico-chemical reactions between the original calcite crystal layer on the surface of the statue and carbonic acid from humid air during the rainy season of each year, creating a calcium bicarbonate solution that flows from higher to lower areas under the gravity force, and then drying and hardening to be a new layer of calcite, covering the surface of the statue once again. This reaction has repeated itself more than 165 times, resulting in the bonding of various cracks on the surface of the statue with calcite crystals, thereby unifying it into a single surface as seen. It is an ancient nature that relies on time and cannot be replicated, leading to the saying that the Somdej amulet will repair itself. The overall image of the surface, the backdrop of the Buddha statue, features high and low wavy patterns that are uneven. The cycle of chemical and physical reactions occurs gradually and irregularly between the calcite layer on the surface of the Pra Somdej and carbonic acid from the humid air during the rainy season each year. This reaction results in a liquid calcium bicarbonate solution that flows from higher to lower areas on the surface of the statue due to gravity, then rise and hardens back into calcite crystals, covering the surface once again. Due to the long passage of time, 165 years. This cycle has occurred more than 165 times, and each instance of the reaction is uneven due to the variable density of humidity in the air. Additionally, these reactions only happen on the outermost thin layer that comes into contact with the air. Therefore, the phenomenon of filling holes, sealing porous gaps, and mending cracks on the surface of the statue connects the surface into a cohesive whole. This process occurs slowly over a long period, taking 165 years for such a surface condition to develop. So, get accustomed to this appearance, please. The calcium bicarbonate solution formed according to the principles of physico-chemical processes between calcite minerals on the surface of Pra Somdej and carbonic acid from humid air during the rainy season each year will flow from higher to lower areas due to gravity and then drying and hardening into a new calcite crystal layer in olamor form, appearing as white crystalline flakes in depression and in low-lying areas adjacent to higher regions, such as along the base grooves and in crevices, etc. Since it is newly formed calcite crystal, there is insufficient time for the carbonic acid to dissolve and bond into a single surface completely. leaving a layer of new white calcite visible as evidence that physicochemical reactions on the surface of Pra Somdej can occur at any time that it comes into contact with carbonic acid from humid air. On the upper edge area of the glass dome arc, the flow traces of calcium bicarbonate solution towards lower areas appeared on both sides of the arc, visible as streaks on the surface of the Pra Somdej, making it generally recognizable. This is considered significant natural evidence of age in this 165-year-old statue, which some knowledgeable individuals hastily conclude are lines of Buddha's virtues due to a lack of understanding. Erosion occurs only slightly, with trace evidence observable in certain areas, and the lacquer covering the surface of the statue prevents direct exposure to air, greatly reducing erosion from carbonic acid in the atmosphere. Additionally, the degree of erosion also depends on the type of the statue's material.
I can certainly sense it. Regarding the natural evidence of age on the surface of the Pra Somdej Wat Rakang 2402, which is 165 years old, closely resembling the age of the Pra Somdej in the popular printing era. That dated from 2407 BE. Therefore, do you encounter a Pra Somdej with a surface in such a manner or something similar, you can be assured that it is the older piece than or approximately 150 years old. Definitely in line with the Pra Somdej from the popular printing era. That concludes of EPS 109. The evidence of natural aging on the surface of the Pra Somdej Wat Rakang that we can truly see with our own eyes. There are still many more Pra Somdej Wat Rakang 2402 B pieces. See you in the next upcoming clips. Goodbye.